Well, thank you, Richard. This is a momentous event for skateboarding, with amateurs and pros coming from all over the country to compete and see who will be crowned the top vertical skater of the year.
Well, yesterday they completed the amateur championships. They laid down some blazing hot trails on the half-pipe, and here with the winner and some of the highlights of that competition is past professional freestyle and vertical rider, and now a full-time businessman and part owner of Powell Peralta Skateboards, Stacy Peralta.
Okay, here we are. I'm talking to Reese Simpson, the major amateur champion for this national contest. Reese, how you feeling, man?
I feel great. I don't believe I won, honestly.
Well, when we told you, it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise.
Well,
I stayed on. I had a good time. That's what counts.
You made real consistent runs, right?
Yeah, I tried to stay on. Skate with my friends, puts it in there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, now that you've won the big contest, so you're the national amateur champion, what's in this next year for you?
I haven't even thought about it yet, but
might we see you turning pro?
maybe before next summer.
Okay. All right, man. Well, listen, good luck. Okay, congratulations.
So, Reese Simpson from Carlsbad, California, outperforms 49 other competitors to take this year's hard-fought national amateur title.
Richard, it's amateurs like these who will be giving the pros a run for their money next year.
It certainly is, and with a new level of pro competition just set to begin, this is a good time to explain the unique format of this event. 30 of the world's top professionals began competition for the $10,000 with 2 qualifying rounds. 15 skaters were eliminated, 10 skaters moved into the sub-jam, and 5 advanced directly to the final jam. Those top 5 were...
Lance Mountain, the powerful skater, was red hot during the qualifiers and made the cut at number 5. The number 4 qualifier, originally from Hawaii, now living in L.A., Christian Hosoi, known for his high-flying aerial attack. And using every square foot of this huge half-pipe to qualify in the number 3 spot, Jeff Phillips of Texas, a full-on aggro skater. Tony Hawk qualified in the 2nd position. He's won the majority of big contests the last 2 years, a crowd favorite wherever he skates. And the judges decided the most outstanding skater of qualifying was veteran Mike McGill of Florida.
Rounding out the qualifying field are these 10 skaters who will now compete in the sub-jam, and only 5 of these skaters will qualify for the final jam. Now, there's no holding back for these pros. They've got to cut loose or they'll be eliminated. And today's state-of-the-art maneuvers seem to defy gravity. This competition ramp is perfect for all types of tricks and for aerials.
The rock and roll board slide is a basic move but requires uncanny balance. The tail block is sort of a quick catch-your-breath transition move. The 50-50 axle grind is a real precarious move as the skater slides across the metal coping. The air-to-fakie move, coming down backwards, is a real trick here. The backside alley-oop is a full aerial 180. Here's a one-footed air, or judo air, as you see the skater kick his foot out there. And then there's the ollie air, guiding the board with your feet. Look, Ma, no hands. An older move with a new twist is the 360 foot plant. While the hand plant is more of a gymnastics type of strength move, the invert as we call it. And the most difficult of all aerial moves, McTwist, a full 540-degree 1.5 twist.
Kevin, this sport has come a long way over the last 30 years. Do you remember when it was called sidewalk surfing?
Well, it started off in the late 1950s, early 60 area, and we had steel wheels back then on a little tiny 2x4 that was hardly big enough to put 1 foot on, let alone 2. As you roll down the street, old ladies would throw rocks out in front of you, and our biggest hazard was hitting those rocks with the steel wheels, in which they didn't suck up the bumps very well at all. And then we saw teams like Vitapack Orange Juice is one of our sponsors, and Hobie also sponsoring teams. Jack's down in Huntington Beach, which is still around. Through the steel wheels, we finally got the clay composite old chalk wheels, and finally we thought those were tops. The old maneuvers. You know, we were a bunch of surfers landlocked, and the waves were down. We couldn't catch the suds action. We'd just stay inside and catch a shore break on the sidewalks. We'd have our steel wheels, and we'd try and imitate hang 5, hang 10, hit a rock, fall off, hang body. We had our Quasimodos and our Daffies, and we'd lay down into our coffins. Back then, there was hardly anything. If you could do a kick turn or one simple 360, you were considered to be awesome on the block.
Well, there's a lot of difference in just going in speed and fast and carving, and full skating's a lot more aggressive than ramp skating. Skating's more fun when it's You just have a pool or a pipe or just anything that's spontaneous, you know. And you just go with your friends and have a good time.
return, 10 of the world's best take on the huge Vision Sports Rock and Roll Jam continues.
Attention, kids, dads, and baseball fans. Get great hitting.
Welcome back to the Rock and Roll Jam U.S. Skateboard Championships. We're here at the final round of the all-important sub-jam to choose the last 5 of the 10 finalists.
We're going to see some pretty exciting stuff here, Richard.
Yeah, it's time for the competitors to put in some really aggressive skating. It's now or never, or get eliminated. Our sub-jam competitors are...
the stylish Chris Miller and Ohio's Rob Roscoff. Wildman Craig Johnson and Vision's Mark Gator Rogowski. The Master of Disaster Mickey Alba and John Tex Gibson. Ken Park and Billy Ruff. Neil Blender and veteran skater and snowboarder Steve Caballero.
Okay, first up we have Chris Miller. He's an accomplished surfer and skater.
Stylish Chris Miller from Upland, California. Invert there, back across the ramp. Big air over the channel, taps down, air to fakie, backwards up the other side, and a gay twist, 360 degrees. Nice ollie air there. Rock and roll sets up another maneuver. There's that 50-50 axle grind we were talking about.
Yeah.
The big backside air. Alley-oop, fully tweaked. Nice front side, boned out, little sketchy across the flat bottom. And watch him axle sit here, setting up for another maneuver. The front side bone air into another front side. He bones it out again and lands right in the channel.
This guy's got a lot of stamina. Boy, Chris Miller. Strong run there. Great combination of moves from Chris Miller. Next up, Rob Roscoff. He's another surfer skater. He lives in Santa Cruz, California.
They call him the Bio High, and here he goes into an invert, and he's going to hang it up on the back truck there.
Oh, he hangs it up on the lip and goes down. Craig Johnson is next from Dallas, Texas.
Craig Johnson, he's a powerful skater from Dallas, Texas. Yes, he's a madman. Look at his hair, front side foot plant over the channel, air to fakie. Fake and roll there, Craig. 50-50 axle grind across the top of the ramp, invert. Back across the flat bottom into another invert. Craig having a solid run here.
And a rock and roll there into a fakie. Boy, this is a strong performance for Craig Johnson. Let's go now to David Stanfield up on the ramp.
Okay, your moves there, they were kind of great stalls in there. What do you call them?
I'm doing a new kind of lean air here at this contest. I kind of started doing it in Houston last month. Just learned it, so it's just a lean air, but it's a new variation.
Looks good. Judges like it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Best of luck.
Mark Rogowski is next. He's affectionately known as Gator.
Another skater from San Diego, California. Mark having a fine run here. Backside air. Back across the ramp. Kicks out a Madonna to tail. Another kick out judo air. 50-50 axle grind. Back across the ramp. And there's that McTwist.
Whoa.
Mark pulls off the 540 McTwist into a lean air. Having a great run. In the air.
I made that one 9 big moves for Gator. And we got a powerhouse skater next, according to you, Kevin. Mickey Alba.
Mickey Alba from Upland, California's Pipeline Skate Park. Big backside air there. Carries an alley-oop, backside air across the ramp. Mickey with the mute air, and he has to throw it away.
I didn't get the rotation on the mute air. Lost that one. Okay, let's give you a slow-motion replay of Gator Rogowski's McTwist, a 1.5 aerial spin. That's a crowd favorite. This wild move was invented by Mike McGill, one of our top finalists. And here Gator finishes with a judo air. Okay, John Gibson, known as Tex, is the next to drop in.
John Tex Gibson from Pasadena, Texas, near Houston. Frontside lean to tail. Big frontside boneless over the channel. Tex, board flapping off of his feet on that Indy air. Big backside air, lands it in the channel, invert. And Tex is going to pull out.
Good run there from John Gibson. Next up, Billy Ruff. He's a very versatile skater out of the San Diego area. Earlier, we spoke with Billy about skating on this big ramp.
It's got more of a pitch, and a pitch being you can't land as smoothly as usual. It means you land farther down the wall, causing you to lose speed. And the whole trick is whoever can land the best on the walls is pretty much going to be in the most control and have the full deal going.
Well, you can tell Billy's got this ramp wired. It's a perfect landing off that spinning maneuver. And going into a 50-50 grind across the coping there, into an invert, back across the ramp, and kicks out.
Oh, big aerial pull out there, and California's Ken Park is going to see if he can get the crowd behind him.
Another skater from San Diego, Ken Park, with that back-scratching invert, alley-oop over the channel. Another big method backside air. Frigid air there. A big lean air. Ken having a good run here with a mute air. 50-50 axle grind across that metal coping. And Ken, is he going to pull out? No, it looks like he's going to get the crowd amped here.
Yep, he wants to get some of his fans cheering for him, and it looks like it's working.
I think so, Richard. That's a ploy here. It might have used up some valuable seconds, but the varial invert, Ken pulls it off. And he's going to pull out.
Wow, looks pretty amped out after his solid performance. Ken Park there. Taking a breath. Neil Blender we have from Westminster, California on the ramp.
Neil Blender, a favorite skater amongst this crowd. You know it. His maneuvers are very avant-garde, as you see. He skates a lot different. He's a big guy. Nice sliding axle grind across the coping. 180 spin, and that's kind of a cess slide. 50-50 grind. Rolls out, rolls back in front side. Rocking sliding to a fakie. Fakie to tail tap. Stall fall, and he's going to pull out. That's it for Neil.
Very aggressive run from Neil Blender. We've got another top contender on the ramp from San Jose, Steve Caballero.
Big backside air for Stevie. Another backside air. He's just setting up to get radical now. Look, it touches his helmet on that kick out. Mute air going higher and higher with each one. Big backside alley-oop. Frontside bone out over the channel. Caballero having a good run. Lapped over frontside grind. Invert. That was an Andrecht invert. 50-50 grind across the coping. Caballero airwalking. Unreal.
Oh, he is leaving there, but it sounds like the crowd are really behind Caballero. He's been the man to beat for so many years, Steve Caballero. Let's look at this airwalk he pulled off. Flawless in slow motion. Absolutely outstanding. Kevin, this ramp that these guys are riding is a pretty impressive creation. It's not quite the average kick turn ramp that you see at the end of a cul-de-sac.
It really is an amazing structure, Richard. Earlier, our man behind the scenes, Dave Stanfield, talked with the creators of this insane half-pipe.
Richard, the man partly responsible for this incredible ramp here for this championship, is Paul Schmidt. Paul, can you give us the dimensions, first of all?
Well, this ramp is 30 foot wide, 11 foot tall, it has 9.5 foot transition, 1.5 foot of vert, and it's got 16 foot of flat. This is the first year we've actually built the ramp for the competitions, and this ramp was originally built in Chicago, and it was transported to Arizona for a contest, and it was transported here for a contest. It's all designed to come apart and go together.
For the spectator coming in and looking at it, first of all, he noticed something that it looks like tile. To give a pool look, what is the tile across the top?
Well, the tile just looks nice. And what it is in pools there's tiles, and that's something from the skate park days. And I've done it on quite a few ramps over the years just for the fun. It looks nice, and when you're skating, it gives you a good way to judge the top of the ramp.
Okay, then across the top we see a kind of a lip, a coping.
Yeah, it's metal pipe. We use it for coping instead of cement like they would have in a pool because the metal slides real good.
How much is this ramp worth if you wanted to build it in your backyard, and how long would it take to build?
This ramp you could build for about $5,000. If you have an experienced work crew that knows what they're doing, you can build it in like